Today's sponsor is Xbox. Yes. Look at this.
Yes.
We are Xbox
Yes.
players.
My Xbox.
You're on.
That is not an Xbox. That is an
Xbox.
Xbox. This is an Xbox.
Yeah, of course it's an Xbox.
This is the
because
winner of the generation.
It's just a portable.
With Game Pass, you can play
Console
over
has already
100
won the
games
generation.
for
All the
less than
colors from
$1.
The year,
Yes,
like Halo,
Xbox. Yes.
Okay, guys, so how are you? I hope you're excellent. So, this is another edition of Friday Night Podcast. We are here with the crew from every other podcast. It is David, Isaac,
Hello, guys.
Diego,
Me.
Braulio,
Hello.
and me, Ruben. So, the topic for today's podcast is basically globalization. So, the first topic is what is globalization?
So, by definition, globalization
so who
is the
wants to
word
start?
used to describe the growing interdependence of the world's economies, cultures, and populations, brought about by cross-border trade in goods and services, technology, and flows of investment, people, and information. So, basically, it's just everything from other countries brought into ours.
Yeah, it's like the liberty of trading with other countries. Products like fruits, like goods, like primary sources. I think
Yes.
all of that.
Okay, it could also be
No.
like technology,
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Well, I think
yes,
so, yeah.
like technology, this
Brands,
interchange of cultures that is around the
merchandise.
world.
Like all the
Exactly, yeah.
sources, everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And speaking of
I
technology, the topic of AI, what do you think about it?
The AA.
AI with globalization.
Yes.
I
Well-
think it's a controversial topic in in this century because it helps it helps us to provide some certain information so quickly and also makes everything for us to make it more easier the research of information or things like that.
Okay.
I don't know what you think about that.
The artificial intelligence, it's maybe the truth, like Isaac said, that it's really to make our life easier, but also it's like let's say like a knife of two sides because it gives you the tool to be a little bit more not to push yourself to do like text or answer questions like okay, I'm going to ask you to the AI to do my homework and okay, and that's all what I do and I'm not push myself. Yep. Okay.
Yes,
Huh?
I think the AA, sorry, the EA, it's like the
EA.
invention of the century. It helps a lot with the homework, but you need to be careful, especially in the education ambience with the academy, your homework, as Diego says. It is a helpful tool to make the things easier, but there is a lot of controversy with how to identify if a work is from a EA or
AI.
from AI, sorry, or from a student, real student, from Kant or by the self student.
Okay. And do you think it's going to be like the end of globalization, this AI?
Mm,
Or is it just going to help like spread more the globalization?
Well, in my opinion, I don't think that it is going to be the end for it, like just the main cause, but I think it's going to take an important part on it.
Okay. And speaking of the end of globalization, what do you think the world could be if we didn't have any globalization?
Well, I mainly think that every country will feel like very closed. Each country will only have their own resources. They will only have their own, like, the food only the food that they make, that they grow, and it will be well, to me it will be such a boring world.
Well, except if you live in Mexico, right? Because we have pozole, we have tamales, we have tacos. At least we're
Yeah,
not. We are in the British people.
Okay.
But if you
Fair.
think that we just provide it to other countries from from Mexico, we provide everything to all
Avocados
certain
to
countries.
USA, the avocados.
Yep, yep. Okay, so for the next question, how do you feel that globalization is like presented in your day-to-day, like daily? For example, in my case, globalization is presented when I play video games. Thanks to globalization, I have my video game console and all of the games that are in there. But I mean, I think there's more examples to it. What do you think?
Yes,
Well,
I think it's everywhere.
Yeah, but where?
can I answer?
David?
Yes,
David?
I think the biggest example is in the web, the internet,
Yes.
when we can exchange cultures with some other people to just to be in a conversation, talking about our tradition, our culture, or the food that I like, the food in Mexico, the food in, I don't know, in like India, in USA. How how's your daily routine with the games and the life in general?
Yes. So now,
well,
based.
for me, wait.
Okay, I'll wait.
Okay,
I'll wait. I'll
for
wait.
me, I can see. Well, in my example, I can see globalization almost everywhere that I look in my room. Like, for example, these lights are
Yes.
from China.
Oh my
My
God.
TV is from China, I think. This phone that I'm holding, I think it's from China too.
Bruh.
My Xbox is from United States, or I mean, there's such a lot of things that is from outside our country. So none of this will be possible if we didn't have, or if the world wasn't globalized.
Okay.
Even I thinking if our major that we have that we are teaching English is a good example of globalization because we are teaching the language that is really globalized in all the country in all the world basically, and we give the tools to that language. So it's like an example of globalization because you're making students able to understand the things that are from other sides because there are like series or like movies that doesn't have the language that we have, for example. Yeah, Isaac.
Yeah, and what do you think about China as the biggest country in globalization? Because as Ruben already said, everything is from China. It's from
Yeah, it's like
some
the biggest
few things.
manufacturer in the world. So now,
like-
based on this, like, what do you think are the principal advantages and disadvantages of globalization? Like for everything, like enterprises, people in general, like the general public, anything. It can be anything.
Well, for advantages, I would like to comment about the change on the prices on everything since it started. Like everything was cheaper to produce, to create, and it was sold cheaper.
Okay. Anyone else? What about you,
I
Isaac?
have a disadvantage.
Okay.
I think it's well about globalization. The biggest disadvantage could be the contamination.
Okay. Pollution.
Some contamination
Pollution.
around the
Yeah,
world.
right.
Pollution. Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah. What about you, David?
Yeah, answering to the question of Isaac, China as the biggest sponsor in globalization.
Mhm.
I think some advantage for China can be the easy hand. How can I say it? The easy hand work
Uh,
to
just
import
labor.
and export.
Yes.
Yes,
Cheap
the
labor.
easy labor, the cheapest. Yes, to how to hire new people to uh, just to export new product. It can be the original product, the bootleg product, but
Yeah.
it's
A
like
knockoff product.
yes to all the world to make a biggest what is it,
Like to make a bigger impact, or
the big market of
oh
all the
yeah.
world.
Okay. Anyone
And
else?
yes,
No.
Okay, I can give an advantage.
Okay.
I think that, and something else, it's that globalization makes you, be let yourself enrich a little bit more about the culture from other countries. And talking about culture, I like take generally about the literature, the arts, the videos, movies, theater. All of these, it's mainly from other countries, and most of them are from the United States. So it's really enriching for you as to, let's say, grow up your knowledge, your, let's say, your taste about things. You know, to read stories, and to read like books that are from other countries, wrote by someone else. It's a really good example of an advantage. I think it's an advantage of globalization. Enrich yourself to be more able to uh, generate an artistic perspective about the world. Yeah.
Okay.
David?
yes, I have another advantage. Is like the for the globalization you can listen to other artists or other musicians. Like is
Yes.
the way can the artists expand their fame to the other countries. Like we can listen to how can I say it? Like Australian artists, to Lil Nas, to I don't know Kanye West, The Weeknd. Like
Yeah. Like
they can. They, yes,
a lot of artists
thanks.
around the world. Like
Yes.
just that. Okay. And now, final question. Considering that globalization can be a two-edged sword, like it has its advantages and its disadvantages, do you think globalization is good for us or bad?
Well, for us, actually, I believe it is good, but I think it was Isaac that talked about the pollution that it generates. So for us, it is good right now, but we are now starting to see the downside of it, the lack of water, the extreme air pollution, and that's yeah. I think that it's just starting. So for us, it's good. For future generations, I don't think so.
But that's their problem, right? Not for us.
That's
Like
the problem.
Yeah. Very good.
anyone else?
I
Okay,
think
David.
it's like the current times here in Mexico because some rivers or something like that from certain mm, franchises like Coke or Pepsi are just like wasting all the water. So we are we are like
Tasty.
without water, as you see, like the previous year with Nuevo Leon, all the memes, and all the videos about humor, right?
Yes, yes, yes. What about you, David? What do you think?
I think that is the most helpful thing in the life. Like it's the way can we know about the everything in the world, the internet. That it is not an invention only in the exclusive in the USA. So it's like free for all the world, but at the same time you need to pay to have um, a internet like pass. I don't
Yes.
to have internet in our homes.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so does anyone else have anything else to say?
Now,
Okay, so we are done here. But not before hearing a word from our sponsor.
okay, so tonight's sponsor is Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie by Ufotable. You can go watch it at your movie theater right now. You can get this cool entrance, and you get to watch the new story of Tanjiro Kamado and his friends fighting versus the Rising Moons.
New York is
Go now.
called to the Swordsmith Village, and
Go and watch it and enjoy it.
Okay, so that was it for today. Thanks for tuning in to Friday Night Podcast. Hope you enjoyed and thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Come back this week and remember to follow us on our social media.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. 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 Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for listening.
I'm gay.